In the heart of Solterra, a city of glass towers and shimmering waters, there lived a man whose wealth had long eclipsed imagination. Edmund Carrington, a billionaire whose empire stretched from transcontinental shipping to luxury resorts, was a figure both admired and envied. His face graced financial magazines. His presence turned heads in boardrooms. Yet behind the polished image was a man whose home echoed with an absence money could not erase. Years before, his wife had passed away, leaving behind their only daughter, Isabella. She was 9 now, graceful yet fragile, her eyes holding questions too profound for her age. While Edmund could buy her anything, dresses from Paris, tutors from Oxford, ponies bred from champions, what he could not give her was the warmth of a mother's embrace. Loneliness had become a quiet shadow in their mansion of marble halls and chandeliered ceilings. Edmund was a man who solved problems by writing checks, but this void required something deeper. One evening, gazing at his daughter reading silently in the library, he made a decision that would shock even the circles that thought they knew him best. Isabella would choose who would become her new mother. Not Edmund, not society, but Isabella herself. The announcement rippled through Solterra like wildfire. Invitations were sent, and soon the mansion would host a selection of women whose beauty could rival the stars. These were not ordinary candidates. They were models, socialites, and actresses, women who had charmed the world with their elegance. To the press, it looked like a spectacle, a pageant disguised as family business. To Edmund, it was something more personal, a test to see if beauty and wealth could coexist with love and sincerity. Isabella, however, was unmoved by glamour. Though raised in luxury, her heart remained untouched by vanity. She liked quiet walks in the garden, fairy tales at night, and sketching birds on the terrace. She had no interest in jewels or perfumes, nor did she admire women who arrived draped in them. To her, the essence of a mother was not someone who looked perfect, but someone who felt safe, someone whose love was real. The day of introductions arrived. The mansion bloomed with floral arrangements and the hum of violins. A red carpet stretched across the marble foyer, and guests whispered in awe as each woman entered. Tall, poised, radiant, each candidate greeted Isabella with rehearsed sweetness, their words dripping with charm. One offered gifts, another praised her beauty, another bent low to kiss her hand as though she were royalty. Edmund watched carefully, wondering if his daughter's heart would lean toward any of them. Isabella smiled politely, yet her eyes remained distant. As the evening stretched on, Edmund's hope began to dim. Each woman was extraordinary on the surface, but hollow beneath. He could sense Isabella's quiet disappointment, though she said nothing. That was when something unexpected happened. While the guests mingled and the orchestra swelled, Isabella's gaze drifted toward the edges of the room, where servants moved silently, ensuring perfection. Among them was a woman named Layla. Layla was not a guest, nor a candidate. She was a maid, dressed plainly in black and white, her hair neatly tied, her expression soft yet alert. Unlike the others, she did not seek Isabella's attention, nor did she perform for Edmund's approval. She was simply working, balancing trays, tidying corners, smiling warmly to those she passed. But in that smile, Isabella saw something she had not found in any of the women on display: sincerity. Later that night, as the ballroom glittered and laughter floated under chandeliers, Isabella slipped away from the crowd and found herself near the kitchen entrance. There, she saw Layla stacking plates with quiet grace. "Hello," Isabella whispered. Layla turned, surprised but not startled. She bowed slightly, unsure whether she should speak freely. "Good evening, miss." "You don't have to call me that," Isabella said shyly. "I just wanted to say, you have a kind smile." The maid's eyes softened. "Thank you. That is very kind of you to notice." From that moment, something unspoken connected them. In Layla, Isabella found warmth, patience, and gentleness. Layla listened when Isabella spoke about her drawings, asked about her favorite stories, and treated her not as a billionaire's daughter, but simply as child. For a girl who had grown up surrounded by rehearsed politeness, This honesty was rare and precious. The following day, when Edmund asked Isabella if she had chosen, he expected hesitation. Instead, his daughter spoke firmly, her small voice carrying more weight than any fortune. "Yes, Daddy. I choose Layla." Edmund blinked, caught off guard. "Layla? You mean the maid?" Isabella nodded without doubt. "She's kind. She doesn't pretend. She makes me feel safe. I want her to be my mother." The silence that followed was heavy. Edmund's mind raced with questions. How would society react? A billionaire marrying a maid? The Carrington name attached to someone from the servants' quarters? The media would feast on it. Investors would whisper. His friends would laugh. But as he looked into his daughter's eyes, he saw a conviction that left no room for dismissal. Isabella wasn't choosing glamour. She was choosing love. Word spread quickly, as news always did in Solterra. Headlines blazed. Carrington heiress rejects models, chooses maid as mother figure. The city buzzed with gossip, some mocking, some praising, many disbelieving. At galas, whispers trailed Edmund. In boardrooms, his colleagues raised eyebrows. Yet in the mansion, where Isabella's laughter grew brighter and Layla's presence calmed restless nights, a different truth unfolded. At first, Layla was hesitant. She had taken the job to support her younger siblings back in a small coastal town, never imagining she would be thrust into the world of high society. She worried about the stares, the judgment, the cruel words of those who would never accept her. But Isabella's unwavering affection gave her courage. And slowly, Edmund too began to see what his daughter had recognized from the start. Layla's kindness was not just for Isabella. It was a way of being. She noticed when Edmund was weary, offering tea with a wordless smile. She cared for the staff, treating them as equals rather than inferiors. Her presence made the mansion feel less like a palace and more like a home. Still, challenges came swiftly. At charity gala, one of Edmund's business rivals sneered openly. "Carrington, I hear your new fiancée was polishing silver not long ago. Quite the unconventional taste you've developed." Laughter followed, thinly veiled as jest. Edmund clenched his jaw, but before he could reply, Isabella, standing beside Layla, spoke clearly. "She is more of a lady than you'll ever be." Gasps filled the room, but her words struck with the sharpness of truth. Edmund's chest swelled with pride. His daughter was unafraid to defend love. Over time, the whispers faded, replaced by grudging respect. Edmund and Layla married quietly in the garden of the mansion, under blossoms that swayed in the summer breeze. Isabella held Layla's hand tightly, her smile brighter than the diamond society once tried to dangle before her. For the first time in years, Edmund felt whole again. Not because of appearances, not because of wealth, but because his home now echoed with laughter, warmth, and love that could not be bought. Their story spread far beyond Solterra, becoming a symbol whispered in classrooms and workplaces alike. Love is not found in glitter or gold, but in the quiet honesty of those who care. Isabella had chosen not with her eyes, but with her heart, and in doing so, she had reshaped not only her father's destiny, but her own. And so, in the mansion where chandeliers still sparkled, it was not the diamonds or the gowns that shone brightest, but the bond between a little girl, her father, and the woman who chose to love them as they were.